Good afternoon, Tom here. We're going to talk about, I've been getting requests about filter systems, ups and downs on them, so I'm going to talk about the filter system. So I got my fish room all opened up, so it looks kind of disgusting a bit because there's wood everywhere for my stands. And I'm going to talk about the SunSun, the FX6, Eheim, the Eheim. Oh, this one here is the 2215. The Eheim 2217. The Jayco 204. Another FX6. And then we'll talk about the Eheim. If I'm saying Eheim wrong, I don't care. Eheim Professional 1. Okay? Now, pardon me running around quickly because this is stupid. But okay, that is the SunSun HW-5000. Now, it is a good filter. It gives a lot of flow. As you can see the waves up above. It has problems still. The biggest problem is you can't get the parts. It's hard finding parts. So, like, if you look at the shut-off valves, if they start leaking, good luck trying to find them. Because they're totally different than the FX6. So they don't fit. It's a bigger opening. So you'd have to, instead of having the shutoff valve, what you'd have to do is run a new line to fit over top of it, clamp it down, and run it in. And you'd lose the shutoff valve if it starts leaking. Another thing is the hose leaking. Some of them have problems with the leaking of the hose. Well, you can't buy hoses for them, so you'd have to come up with and make one that would work. Which is not hard, but still. But as far as mechanical working's fine. The UV light works okay. The box gives me a bit of a problem. I've tried resetting it, but it doesn't work. But the UV does work in this one. I don't know the price of these now, but since with covert and all that stuff, I don't know what's going to happen because they come from China. So I don't know if getting the parts would be too, it'd be hard to get. So I would wait. If you're going to think about buying the HW-5000, I would wait because a lot of people have had problems with the drains. I've showed a video on how to fix the drain, easy. Some people have had problems with it leaking. I showed a video on how to repair the leak, which was easy. So on and so on. So as far as the SunSun HW-5000 goes, I would wait until the parts are available. Otherwise, as from 1 to 10, I give it a 7 because of parts. But for working, you can see the tank is really good. It's fine. I'm doing a water change today, a big one on all the tanks. So in this one here is the FX6. If you're buying the FX6, they're expensive. I mean, you can get a good deal on them. I'm not saying you can't. In Canada, they're expensive. They're almost $500 in Canada, and so I have two of them. I have three SunSun HW-5000s, as you can see, right? And I have the other one over there. Now, this is a 220-gallon tank. I have over 100 fish in here, and I feed them a lot of food because it's needed. Because you don't want them fighting, and you don't want them dying. So you need to feed them a lot. So these filters, the SunSun and the HW-5000, are doing a good job keeping it clean. But you still have to do water changes, quite a bit. And for me, it's not hard to do a water change. Just out the front door and away she goes. This is 110 gallon, or in the U.S. would be 120 gallon. This is run by the SunSun HW-5000. Again, with this filter, it's great. As you can see, the flow is good. I haven't cleaned this filter out in a month. I also have a drain that, one that's hooked up to the Eheim. Now, the Eheim 115 is a good filter for the tank. Running it by itself, I wouldn't try it. You need probably 2 of them. The thing with this, the Eheim, is cleaning it. Right? They don't have grates. Like, you got to pull all the material. You got to take the sponge out. You got to pull all the media out. You got to put the other media out. The other sponges. You got to clean it. So it's not an easy to clean it. It's not easy. It's not hard, but I mean it's a messy job. Where this one here, the basket comes out. You take the sponges out. Everything's much easier to clean. This as far as cleaning, the SunSun HW-5000 is so far the easiest one to clean, because this just unclips and away you go. When you're looking at the the FX6, look at all the, you have to undo all those bolts. I mean all those nuts and bolts, right, to open it up. When this here just clamped and off she goes. But the problem again is when that O-ring goes, where do you get one? So I suggest that if you buy this, make sure you put Vaseline on it. Keep that rubber nice and lubricated at all times. Same as on these. Make sure you lubricate them with some Vaseline around them so they're always moving and they're easy so they don't leak. Right? And be very careful when you're shutting them off so that you don't get any leaking in here. So back to the Eheim. It's a good filter. I bought, this came with the tank when I bought it. Got 2 of them, so it was fine. Would I buy one? No, I wouldn't buy one. This is the SunSun, I think it's a 704. It's got the ultraviolet light, the pushing on it, everything else. This one filter is running, just that one filter, you can see there's no other filters in there, is running this tank. And this is 110 gallons Canadian, 120 US, and there's over 150 fish in here. I have not did a water change in 3 weeks. I'm doing one today. Like as I said, I'm doing a big water change today. That filter, running this one, it's great. But on top of that, I do have lava rock in here. Now lava rock is a great thing because the lava rock breaks down the ammonia. So when I do a test on my water with all this lava rock, no ammonia problem. I don't actually have any problems with any of my tanks for anything. They're always good. I only change the water change. It's good for the fish, right? And I'm on a well water. I'm on well, so I don't have to worry about chlorine. So I'm on well, and so I just put the hose in, and boom, I can drain it, fill it, drain it, fill it. I can do 100% water change, and it doesn't hurt the fish. So if you have a fish tank with cichlids, lava rock is great for that. Now, as again for this filter, I give it a 10 out of 10 out of 10. I give it a 10. I've never had a problem with this thing. I got it on Kijiji. I paid, I think I paid $110 for it, $120 for it. I've never had a problem with it. It runs great, easy, and gives out a nice flow. I do have a sponge filter I put down in here because when I'm feeding them flakes, I don't need to fill it up with the flakes. But I also have a wave maker, right, which helps circulate it. It gives it more of a punch, and the fish like it. Now back over here to the Jayco filter canister. It's a little on the. It's a good filter. It does a good job cleaning it. Lots of media inside. It's like any other canisters. It all pulls out. The problem with this is it's really tight in here. Right when you're taking it out, it's a tight fit, and these valves here, I'm not playing with them. They're a little, they're not so great. Again, there's the FX6. Now I have the FX6 and a back on, and I have an FX6 running this tank, and it's the same. It's a 110 Canadian, 120 American. Now, with the Jayco or whatever the hell it is, pardon my language. It runs this 90-gallon tank. Plus, I also have the Eheim 2217 on this tank. So I have 2 filters on a 90, right? Plus another one. I also have the Eheim over there, right? And the professional one is on that 190-gallon tank. Now, why do I have 3 canister filters on it? Well, I have them, right? Oh, and also on the, sorry about that. On this one here has a lot of tannin in it. So I have also a back filter, right? That's got felt in it to clean it all up, right? And I do have over 100 fish in here, right? So, you know, it needs a lot of keeping up. But that's the reason why the water looks the way it is. It's the tannin when you look at this one. Now this one here, I have baby fish in it too. So I have all my baby fish. So I have 3 filter systems going on, keeping the water clear. I feed them twice a day. Again, the Jayco, the Eheim, both filters, you know, they're okay. They're not bad, but I wouldn't, you know, again, I bought them on Kijiji for $100, and so for that kind of price, okay, I'll buy them. Buying them for their full price, no thank you. So if you can get them used and they're running good, right, at least you get parts for them, and it's much easier that way. Of all the filters I have here, the Eheim one, I'll give it an 8. The Eheim 17, I'll give it an 8. But again, when you're cleaning it, it's a pain in the butt because of you got to take all the media out. You got to, like, it's not in cages. But on the Eheim Professional one, the baskets aren't that great. They're pretty floppy. They're not, you know, considering it's made in, I think it's German or something like that, you think there'd be a lot more boost to it. Where when you're looking at the FX6, excellent bins, but they don't give you much place for media. So this is Tom. This is really long, but this is people have been asking about the filter systems, and if you look at my tanks, they're nice and clean, and I don't do too much. And when you got cichlids, they make a mess. Right, they tear, well, look, they just tear everything apart. And again, in this one here with the cichlids, I have a lot of lava rock, which keeps the ammonia down. And I haven't done a water change in this one for about a month. I haven't done a water change down there in 2 months. I haven't done a water change there in, I guess, a month. Right? This one here has never had a water change. It's had, well, I've had water, I refill it. So, as far as the filters go, they run good. This one here, I haven't done a water change again in about probably a month, or maybe even longer. So, like as I said, today's water change day. So, if it was up to me, depending on your tank, how many fish you have. See, I have a lot of fish. I have over 700 fish. So, when you're dealing with that many fish, you know you're gonna have a lot of waste. So, it's easier. Now, when it comes down to how much debris they take, the FX6 takes a lot of garbage. When I changed the filter in 3 weeks, it's disgusting. So it's great. The SunSun HW-5000 is the exact same. It's just the foams I got on top, they're just plugged right up with garbage, which is good. And the medium's nice and clean underneath, but it's doing its purpose. When it comes down to the Eheim, I change them every month. They are disgusting. They are dirty. They get dirty, and you know I wear gloves and I clean that thing because it's bad. Even the media, it's just, you know, gets pretty bad. The Jayco, it's good. As I said, all the filters, when I change them, they're full of garbage, right? And so I suggest that if you can buy a filter on YouTube, or I mean YouTube, sorry, if you can buy a filter on the market. Used, I would suggest that. Buying brand new is expensive. If you get a deal, then I would buy them. But if you can get a really good deal on an FX6 on sale, I would buy 2 of them, have one as a spare, or even run them both. It's not going to hurt anything. You won't have to change the water as much, and on top of that, you won't have to clean the filter as much because you'll be, you know, saving everything else out. What else is there I can say about it? My God, this is 14, 15 minutes. What filter would I buy if with the lowest amount of money? I would buy, if I was just starting out and I didn't have that much money, I would be buying the SunSun's on canister filters. I'm talking about, not back filters, canister filters. I would buy the SunSun 204 to start off with, depending on how many gallons the tank is, or the I think it's a 303 or 304, the 704, the 7, you know, in that range. I would buy those ones. They are good, and I would buy one that has the ultraviolet light in it. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't use the ultraviolet light." Well, I do, right? It keeps down on the algae. When you're leaving lights on for 12 hours, right, you get a lot of algae. And if you look at my tanks, I haven't cleaned them. This one has no algae in it. This one has no algae in it. This one has no algae in it. That's got a little algae on the rock. This one has a lot of algae in it because of the lighting, and it's getting I'm getting CO2 pushed into it. But if you look at it, it's mostly on the back, and I have algae eaters in here. Right, they're keeping things pretty up to date. This one here, the only algae is on the back wall a little bit. On the fronts and sides is not that bad. So when you, and yeah, so if you look, there's not much algae in my fish, right? So again, as far as I would go the SunSun, cheaper versions of them. You can get copies too, sorry. You can get copies of these fish that are copies of the canisters. They're still probably made by SunSun. They just don't, they're not branded with a name on them. So this has been a little bit of a weird video, but people are asking me about filters. I've done filters before, but it's been a while ago, and I guess because people look at the new videos, they're not going back to looking at my old ones, right? I suggest you do go back and look at some of the older ones. It would help me out. So thank you. This is a really super, this is 17 minutes and 25 seconds, this video. I usually make them 5 minutes. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. And good luck with your filter systems. This is my opinion what they are. And I want to thank you very much. Bye for now.